Hi, hello there. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Glow Up Method. This is the place. This is the space for you to discover who it is you are, all on this pursuit of living a life that makes you proud. Hi, my name is Natasha, and I am so lucky, honored, and privileged to be your host here today. I'm going to keep it real. I almost didn't do this again today. Just when life gets so busy, sometimes it's difficult to do this. And I am great in the morning. I have a ton of energy, no holds barred. The limit is there is no limit to my madness. Come the evening, I am exhausted. I am in pain. And today is one of those days. I didn't eat very well yesterday. I ate some salty things. I ate In-N-Out Burger. And today, I've felt like I was pregnant with quadruplets. I have felt so big and bloated, and I'm I don't know if it's from my activity yesterday. I'm doing everything right. I'm taking pineapple pills. I'm taking, some other things that's supposed to help with swelling. I can't even think of the name of it right now. I'm taking my vitamins. I'm walking. I'm massaging my stomach. I'm doing lymph drains. I am doing everything to try to rush the process instead of just trust the process. And, I know I've made a lot of progress, but it is so hard for me to just sit and wait. And especially because I'm really uncomfortable. And so, today when I was posting today's video that I filmed a long time ago, the subject matter was about getting comfortable with the discomfort. And I was like, man, I know I meant this on a very mental and emotional and get out of your comfort zone thing. But today I'm okay, maybe my past self was talking to my future self, because I am so physically uncomfortable. I'm telling you, today feels like I'm carrying around 2 watermelons, and I'm not trying to complain. I'm just trying to embrace it, because I'm listen, I am doing everything possible. I'm doing, according to my doctors, I am a model patient here. So why in the world is this not happening as fast as I want it to? That's life. A lot of things that we do, right? I have to remind myself, well, when I was doing my weight loss journey and I was 300 pounds and I was doing everything right, did I lose 100 pounds overnight? No. Did I lose it in a week? No. Did I lose it in a month? No. Did it take over a year? Yes. Was it easy? No. Was I always comfortable? No. And so I guess this journey has a very, very similar thing. And with anything, my journey, even here doing these filmings. And again, I've got a lot of things going on right now, a lot of moving pieces. Chris is moving back in the house. My daughter's moving out. There's school's ending. There's just a lot. I'm about to go on another trip. There's a lot of moving. My son's going to Saudi Arabia again. He's going to LA soon. He might be going to New York. There's all these kind of moving things kind of going on. And so for whatever reason, the Glow Up Method and me really finalizing, for now, it's not a business, right? I'm not in it to profitize on this. I'm here just sharing stories, right? There's no compensation for the hours I spend on this every single day. It's just what I want to do. But that doesn't mean that it's not this platform and thing that I want to take to the point to where I am able to exchange energy for energy, so that I can offer something that helps you. I want to help heal a pain. Now, it's cool and all to listen to my stories, but I really want to create this guide map, this create something that helps you to get from where you are to where you want to be. And that you feel supported and that you have guidance, because sometimes I do really well with a checklist, right? Sometimes, like I said on here, I do really well with a calendar. There are things and environments in which I know I thrive and I can get maximum things going done. But right now I'm healing mentally, emotionally, physically. I'm in a relationship. There's so many different things. And it's not that I wasn't in one before, but it's a different energy and a different thing so there's just so many different things pulling at my attention at this moment. And of course, like, you know, for some reason, the Glow Up method it just does, you know, it's like anything else. It's like one of my kids. It's like, it's still getting attention. It's just not getting my full attention. You're not my only child here. You know, I have other children. Then I have also, I gotta take care of myself too. And, you know, like, just to get steps, like, okay, before I used to bust out 10,000 steps in a jiffy. You think now I can bust anything out in a jiffy? No, I can't. Everything takes a long time. Like I, you know, had this whole vent and I was like, here's one thing I just wasn't prepared for. I wasn't prepared for my morning routine to take over an hour just to put on some freaking pants. You know, like I have to, you know, sit there and do all the creams and the rubbing and then squeeze myself in this torture device. I mean, faja, whatever the heck this thing is. I'm not a corset. I'm not even a girl who ever held in really, unless I was trying to get myself in a pair of jeans or in a dress. And then I held in late on the bed and then forgot to hold in again. I don't know how to use my lower abs or my transverse abdominals, which is why I'm in pelvic floor physical therapy as well, which is all on hold until July. But I did get a referral for a lymphedema thing because I've got so much swelling everywhere, which was another vent today. Nobody prepared me that not only would my stomach now look like I was freaking carrying twins, and then feel like it. And beyond the look, listen, I could even go, if it just looked like it but didn't feel like it, I would be okay. Maybe, but not really, probably. But really, it's the feeling that is annoying, right? Because I'm not looking at myself in the mirror too often, but I am constantly feeling like this. And then you got to throw me in this faja thing, right? So it's tight. It's legitimately cutting into my skin. It's uncomfortable. There's snaps. You know, I can't just pull down my pants and go to the bathroom. I got to unsnap stuff, which means I got to bend. It's not fun. Then you got these binders on, this Velcro, and then you move, and they move up, and they ride up, and then you got all this stuff smushing up here. I'm not prepared for any of this. I was not prepared. And so even when I'm done here, and I go take my night shower, that's all fine and dandy. And then we got at least another 30 minutes because you got to put on the Vaseline. You got to put on the Aquaphor. You got to put on the cocoa butter. You got to put on the bio oil. You got to put on the arnica oil. Listen, you got to do all these bells and whistles because if not, then it feels like it's about to crack open. You got 2 stitches popping out over here. So every time you rub it, you feel something. It's just a lot to add to your life. And then, you know, like if I want to do my steps, like 10,000 steps, it used to took me a jiffy. Like, I only got 10,000 steps to do. I can do that with my eyes closed. Now it's like, oh my gosh, are you serious? I've been moving for what seems like an eternity and I did 2,000 steps. Like, whew, I almost need to take a break right now. So, yes, things are a process. And I fully admit it. Patience is not my strong suit. Patience is something I definitely am working on. I have multiple reminders telling me patience is power. And so I must believe, right? I must believe what I preach. I must understand and trust the process and understand that, you know, it's just the small little things I'm doing every day that are going to add up. And then one day I'm going to be better. But that one day seems so far away. And so how do you get it, right? How do you get through it when you're not necessarily in the beginning, in like the critical stage, right? You're in this blasé limbo stage, right? I'm 6+ weeks post-op. By now, I really thought I would be, you know, looking fine, feeling fine. And I'm not. And so you deal with that. And then you have to deal with, like, how do I integrate this version of me into the old version of me's life. Like, what parts am I going to take away? Tonight was another dance class. So I went yesterday and I went the day before. And tonight, by all means, and any other time pre-surgery, I would have been in there. And I wasn't. And the first few weeks I wasn't. I felt really sad. I felt like heartbroken. I had dreams about the dang classes. But now I'm embracing where I'm at. Like, I'm enjoying, I went out. I did my time outside in nature. I did my little earthing routine. I listened to my birds. I put on the music inside. And I did the next best thing for me. And it doesn't necessarily make the process any different. But if I get a look at it and I remind myself of all the many journeys I've ever been on, or my kids have been on, from the time when they've torn ACLs or busted up in their kneecaps, and then, or were diagnosed with a brain tumor or heart surgery or needing heart surgery, to the times in which where they are now. And it seemed forever when you're in the process of it. Just like when you're pregnant. Like, it's so exciting in the beginning, and I'm pregnant, and most times, or, and then you're one boy or girl, 1 or 2 or 10, you have all this uncertainty. And then there comes parts in the pregnancy, at least for me. Listen, I'm fully admitting I am not a good pregnant person. I was sick all the time. Only time other than now that I was able to successfully lose a good amount of weight and maintain it for months was when I was pregnant. But as soon as those suckers were out, I was like, nom, 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 nom. I need to, nurse my kids. So I am going to eat. And I no longer was sick. So I had to have cerclages, which is a surgery to keep my stitch my uterus, or cervix, excuse me, not my uterus, my cervix shut. So yeah, I had to do that twice with my last two, each time with one of my last 2 kids, and then one surgery to get it removed, and one was able to be removed in office. And yeah, like one was on bed rest, one was a premature. So yeah, I'm not a model pregnant person over here. And there's parts in the journey where you're just like, I just want them to come now. Like, I'm done with this. I don't want to be having to go pee all night long, all those things. And you have to trust the process. And there are times that it's sped up. Just like with my oldest son, where suddenly I was like, I just want to see him. Like, I don't want to be pregnant anymore. And I got my wish. And that wasn't really what I wished for. I wanted him to be back in my belly, and I wanted everything to be normal. So I have to remind myself of these situations in life where, you're going through something, some kind of trial, and the process isn't happening as quickly as you'd want it to. And I say that because I feel like we need that reminder. And having that reminder, I can think back to all of those situations, and we got through them. The pregnancy ended. The baby was born. The months of PT and surgery and recovery, got through it. And now they're running and playing soccer and normal, right? And I have to trust and have faith that I will get there too. And I remember one thing one of the doctors said. It didn't matter how what a model patient my son was. It didn't matter if he was hitting all of the benchmarks sooner than he should. There's some simple things you cannot rush. Biology is one of those. You cannot rush the biology. And now I have 2 things I'm recovering from. And I'm also me. I'm a person who, by nature, does too much. I'm a person who isn't very comfortable being uncomfortable and doing nothing. I'm so active, and I'm such a part of a community, whether it be in my garden or going outside or taking a walk or talking with my son or my son's girlfriend or, my daughter or my husband or my friends. I'm such an active part of it that when I'm sitting and doing nothing, I feel like a part of me is just not living. I feel the sadness and anxiety, and I feel uncomfortable for the most part in there. I don't really enjoy that part of it at all. And I do love to relax, like in certain things. Like I love to go outside. I can sit out there for hours and listen to those darn birds tweet, tweet, tweet down the street. I really can. I can sit there and enjoy the sun, but there's something different about being alone and like in a chosen way, like in doing something I love. I can be alone out in my garden and watering flowers. I can be alone in a car ride. I could be alone at the beach. I can be alone and do those things. But something about being at home and laying in bed and being inside, it crushes a piece of my soul. And so while I understand that maybe pushing myself a little more physically by doing watering too soon or doing the things that I'm doing may in some essence inhibit my physical recovery, it's also essential for my spiritual, mental, and emotional recovery. And those aspects are just as important. And so we need to take a piece of all of them. I have the true belief from everything I've seen and experienced, healing is a holistic journey. It's the physical, it's the mental, it's the emotional, it's the spiritual, all in this desire, this dream to live this life that we dream of. And for me right now, what's a life I dream of? Of getting back to my old status quo. And if not just even there, but to be better than I was the day before my surgery, the morning of my surgery. To take those improvements and use them to my advantage. And so I really am looking forward to the time I get there. There's a part of me that's afraid. There's a real big part of me that maybe I won't. Like, what happens if this is the new normal? If I will always feel bloated and full and like my skin's about to pop out. And I read things and I listen to the forums and they say this is all part of it and it can last up to a year. And if it can last up to a year, well, hey, I've only got 10 and a half months to go. Is my math right? Yeah. I only have 10 and a half more months to go. And so I'm partially there. I'm getting there. And I have to have faith and I have to believe that as long as I continue to do everything right and I challenge myself and have this space that my body is able to do what it needs to, and I give it the days that it needs to rest, and I give it the days that it needs to move, and I give it the days that it needs certain vitamins and nutrients, and I listen to what is it my body is craving and wanting as my guideline is to say, what is it I need so that I can most properly heal and feel good again. But all in along, I have to do what's really hard for me. And maybe it's hard for you too, is to trust the process and understand that there is progress. I can't always see what's happening underneath the skin of my body. Actually can't, right? I was for a minute gonna measure and be like, that's why I can tell if the swelling is going up or down. Listen, I have ways to already do that. Some days my binder things, they fit like a glove. Some days I can't even get the two pieces of Velcro to touch. And I'm like, nope, this one's gotta go. And I have to be like, that's okay. You know, what did we eat this day? What did we do? Were we doing too much activities? Were we not doing enough? Were we eating a lot of salt? I really need to use myself as a lab rat in a sense and figure out what can I do best to nurture my body today. I can't do the things I used to do and expect those same results I used to get. I'm not that person anymore. Quite frankly, I left nearly 6 pounds of me in an operating room. I took a big chunk of me out. It's not coming back. And I'm grateful for that, right? Many pluses. Like I say, I walk up those stairs and my stomach is not clapping for me. That's a plus. And so for a little while, I'm going to have to deal with some discomforts. And so I want you to know that no matter what you're going through, it could be a physical discomfort, mental and emotional, all of the above, right? Like You will get through it. Trust the process. I know it's not always obvious. Things are happening underground, and you're making progress. Just believe in that and know that you are doing everything that you are supposed to be doing to get you to the place that you're supposed to be. And where you are today is exactly where you're supposed to be today in this journey. Tomorrow is another day, and yesterday is in the past. These were all setting you up for exactly the life that you want to be living. Continue to make the choices and decisions that align with you, that make you feel proud. So I'm going to say all of this to say, please, please, please. My very first thing I'm going to say is please give yourself a huge smile. Give yourself a compliment. Today, my compliment is this. I did it. I really debated on not filming tonight. The kids were up talking late. Chris was down here. I didn't want to kick him out. Like, the house is in chaos. Everything is in shambles. And I just was like, I don't even know what I'm going to talk about. But I did it. And I'm proud I did. I really feel like I'm really glad I had today's conversation. And I really hope that this is one that you needed to hear. Secondly, I am going to say, please, please, please go out there today. Give somebody else a big compliment. Give somebody else a big smile, and just watch how they glow up. So thank you. Bye.